This is a little video revision on wholesalers. Now on module 1 we must do about a 2 or a 3 hour online program and in the Bloom Room all about wholesalers. And we never cover it all on module 1. Because again, on module 2, the discussions will always come up about wholesalers. There's just so much. I often feel we could do a whole week in the Bloom Room just talking about wholesalers, and we'll still never answer all the questions. So this is just a little revision for you. It's not possible to cover everything in this short little revision class, okay? So first of all, you'll find all the details about the wholesalers in the student resource. So go and look up that revision video on student resource. When you're in the student resource, you will find an Excel sheet with all the details of the wholesalers. The name of the wholesaler, the rep's name, contact phone number, email address, and the website of that wholesalers if you want to set up an account. And I normally have a little description up beside them telling you what they sell, because some of them may only sell flowers, may only sell sundries, and some of them may only sell greenery. A lot of them sell absolutely everything. There's always new wholesalers opening, and that's why we keep it in the student resource, because I can keep updating it as we come across new suppliers, and then you will always have access to it even when your Bloom Room is finished or even when you're finished training here at the class. First of all, a couple of tips and a couple of things to keep in mind. Wholesalers are for people in the trade only. And most of them advertise in big bold writing, trade only. They only serve people in the trade. Now I do understand a lot of you are only starting off and you're all brand new to this, right? And when they mean trade only, they mean that you actually have a business. You're either a freelance florist, you're running a flower studio from home, you're a wedding specialist, or you have what we call a brick and mortar shop. You actually have a flower shop. And when they say trade only, that's what they mean, okay? So for you to get an account with a wholesaler, you are going to have to tell a couple of little white lies, okay? So when you're filling in the application form, you'll find the application forms in the student resource, by the way. You will be asked to fill in your name. My name is Jeanette O'Rourke. Fill in your address, 465 South Circular Road. Fill in your phone number, 086 26 444 72. Fill in your email address, info@flowerschoolireland.com. Fill in your VAT number. Now most of you mightn't have a VAT number, and actually Case Flower School is not registered for VAT either. The reason being there's no VAT on education, so we're not allowed to register for VAT. But normally with a VAT situation, and I've covered the VAT tutorial on module 1, again it's an hour and a half long tutorial. Remember, it went on for ages and ages and ages. But normally there's a ceiling you have to reach before you have to register for VAT. So if you're not registered for VAT, I want you to put 2 lines across that and just fill in not applicable or N-A. So if you don't have a VAT number. If you do have a VAT number, put in your VAT number. But then there'll also be a section, the name of your business, okay? I want you to fill in there the name of your business. In my case, Kay's Flower School. In your case, Flowers by Linda. Or somebody else, Deborah's Flower Shop. I want you to make up a name, okay? Just make it up this minute. You needn't worry about registering the name. Now I know on module 1 we talked about CRO and registering the name, okay? You need to go back to all your module 1 tutorials to listen to all that. So, but for this, for actually opening up the account, this is a little white lie. I want you to fill in the name of your business, Flowers by blank, whatever your name is, okay? So that's basically the information filled in on the application form. If you don't fill in a business name, you're drawing attention to yourself that you're not in business, and the wholesaler will not serve you. When you ring up a wholesaler or you go to and visit a wholesaler and they ask you the question, are you in the trade? I want you to nod your head and you have to say yes. It's another little white lie. You have to lie. If you start, oh, I'm not in the trade and I haven't got a shop and blah, 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 they will not serve you. Now you might say, why will they not serve you? The reason is, or the hassle is, flower shops out there are giving out murder, right? About people working at home, being able to get served in the wholesalers and buy their stuff at the cost price and then compete against the flower shop. And if you were a flower shop, you'd be given out as well. And the flower shop is given out, first of all, that they're paying their tax. they're paying their overheads, their rent, their rates, their water rates, their insurance, etc, etc, etc. And here you are, Deborah's little flower shop or whatever, working from your back kitchen and maybe not paying any of these overheads. And they're basically pissed off, you know, that way. So that's why when you want to get an account with a wholesaler, you must say you're trade only. The wholesaler probably suspects you're telling a lie, but he couldn't give a shit. He wants to sell the stuff, you know, that way, and he's on commission to sell the stuff. But he wants his back covered as well. And to cover his back, you must tell that little white lie and say that you're trade only. A lot of the wholesalers have a minimum spend. And again, on the Excel sheet in the student resource, I have a little note wrote about each one. If there's a minimum spend, the reason why we have the minimum spend is to keep outsiders, or the kitchen sink florist, or the basement Betty as they call them, you know what I mean, the person working at home, they don't want them being able to go into the wholesalers and buy 20 euros worth of stuff or 30 euros worth of stuff. So what they do is they put a limit on it, and they may say, like Harold Ellens and Bluebell, the minimum you can spend there is 200 euros plus the VAT. Or with Hoek in Holland, the minimum you can spend is 100 euros plus the VAT. Now the thing is, he'll charge you 50 euros delivery on top of that, by the way. Where if you spend 200 euros plus the VAT, you actually get free delivery. Florimets is the same. Florimets, the minimum you can spend there is 200 euros plus the VAT, and I think it's a €5 delivery charge. So the reason they have these minimums is to stop people working at home being able to shop there. The wholesalers that have the larger minimum amounts, as in the 200 euros, they're normally the cheaper wholesalers, and that's where you're going to get the best value. Where the wholesalers who don't have a minimum, I'm going to mention one or two of them here. So we say Tip Top in East Arran Street in Dublin has no minimum, has no trade card, has no application form, couldn't give a shit who you are. They'll serve absolutely anybody. Do you know that way? Well, there you'll have no hassle, but their stuff is going to be more expensive. Our hobby florist over in Sandyford, again, couldn't give a shit who you are, you know that way, not worried about minimum amounts, but their stuff is much more expensive than the other wholesalers. I can nearly guarantee with the two I've just mentioned there, no flower shop goes there. I definitely wouldn't buy anything in Tip Top or over in Hobby Florist because the stuff is much, much too expensive. But probably for somebody that's working at home and that's dealing with small quantities, you probably feel that you're getting a better bargain, because you're definitely getting a better bargain than if you went into your local flower shop. So at the end of the day, with wholesalers, unless you're willing to buy wholesale, that means large quantities, you can't go the wholesalers. And if you want to open up an account with them, you'll have to tell that little white lie. As I said, there is so much here I could cover, but what I recommend is go back to your Module 1 notes, okay? Listen to the tutorial on wholesalers. Listen to the tutorial on getting a trade card. Listen to the tutorial on the application forms. Listen to the tutorial on the VAT, you know that way. So they're all there. They were all covered on Module 1. As I said, this is just a quick revision class just to remind you about these. So again, best of luck with everyone on your programme at the moment, and see you all in the Bloom Room. If you do have any questions, post them in the comments below.